Hi, welcome to the Resources Roadhouse. I'm Wally. I'm at the South-West Connect ASX Showcase down in Busselton. Just had a very interesting chat with Peter Bewick, Managing Director of Hamelin Gold, about exploration technology. Peter, welcome back to the Roadhouse. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, Wally. Great to be here.
All right, now just before we came on air, you were telling me something very interesting. You were telling me about a new exploration technique, let's call it, that you've implemented at your project. Can you, tell us about the project, but then tell us about this new technique.
Yeah, so we're operating up in the far northeast of Western Australia in the Tanami Desert. It's an area that's been known to be prolific for hosting multi-million ounce gold systems, particularly the Newmont's Tanami operations, a 20 million ounce gold system, but it's also in a desert environment, so extensive areas under sand cover. And traditionally, exploration under sand cover has been quite a difficult scenario. You can't prospect away and pick up a rock on the surface and sample it for gold. You've really got to come up with some new ideas about how to explore through this generally fairly thin sand cover. We're seeing, 1 to 5 metres of sand, so not a lot, but just enough to almost mask that surface expression. So we've been working really hard to try and identify some technologies that might be able to applicable to identifying gold anomalies through that sand. And one that we've been working with quite extensively since the actual inception of the technology is CSIRO's developed ultrafine soil technique. Now, in my previous life at Encounter Resources, where I was the exploration director, we were co-sponsors of that ultrafine work program that CSIRO put together. And in Hamelin Gold, we've then taken that on and sort of extended it. It's now a commercial technology that's offered through Lab West in Perth. And what it focuses on is trying to extract the very, very fine clay particles that attach themselves to sand grains. Now, these clay particles have been proven to almost preferentially attract metals. And if you can strip those clay particles out, which are a very small portion of the sand makeup, you can potentially magnify or enhance metal signatures. And we've trialled it for the very first time at a place called Busselton, which is a gold project located in the far northwest of our project. And we identified a kilometre-long, consistent, coherent gold anomaly, which was about 30 to 40 times background. So a really significant quality gold anomaly on a beautiful structural location. And we released those results in September of this year. We managed to get heritage clearance done. We managed to get a rig on site from Perth, and we've actually now put 67 drill holes into that in the last couple of weeks, and we're keenly awaited to see the assay results from that program.
All right, that just sounds extraordinary. To like someone like me, of course, I'm just a humble journo who comes in and talks to you guys. But when somebody tells me something like this is obviously, pardon the pun, but it's groundbreaking, isn't it?
Well, you're always looking for exploration technologies which can shift the goalposts. So if we keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to get the same result, and it's the sort of definition of insanity. So if you can find innovative ways that can generate a new sort of search space, like an ability to explore in an area where no one's been able to explore before, you could rapidly generate a bunch of new discoveries. Like, who knows what's under the 5 metres of sand out there? It could be all sorts of metals and all sorts of opportunities. So we're really excited by the application, and it has been a lot of work by the CSIRO group over many, many years that's sort of worked up the science and the theory behind it all, and the ability to actually extract these ultra-fine particles is quite a science in itself. So Lab West, as I mentioned, now provide this as a commercial sort of ability for us to use across the industry. And now we're trying to we're hoping what we are doing, and maybe other companies are doing as well, is building up that sort of atlas of successes. And if we can find bedrock gold under our Southwest Gold anomaly, we'll be going very hard on applying this not only as a specific targeting tool, but also maybe screening very large regional areas for any sort of identification of anomalies under the thin sands.
I mean, travel over the journey that I've been covering the industry, people have always said, we're going into old ground using modern technology, using modern exploration ways of doing things. And this is just an example of that, isn't it? It's something new coming in, going into an area, well, this one hasn't really been explored, but it's the same sort of thing, and just what modern technology can provide.
Yeah, it is. It's whether it be, whether it was sort of low-level detection analysis that was generated to maybe the 70s or 80s, whether it be new geophysical techniques or even new geological understandings. You've always got to be on top of what's, applying new ideas and trying to reinvent what you're doing, because that old adage of what we talked about before is doing the same thing over and over again is really just, using shareholders' money pretty poorly. So, and if you can make a breakthrough, breakthroughs deliver, the next burst of discovery. So if you can be at the front end of that, what a great place to be, and a great tool to be.
All right, well, we look forward to hearing about those assays, as I'm sure you look forward to seeing about those assays. So make sure you come to us and let us know what's going on.
Look forward to it, Wally. Cheers.